Hey there, I'm Lance.
I'm Sam.
And we are Love to Hate.
And today we're taking a look at Kiwi Chow Down by Detestable Games.
Kiwi Chow Down is a game that is currently running on Kickstarter. In fact, the Kickstarter campaign is wrapping up in the near future, so make sure to check it out if you haven't done so already after watching our video by viewing that link down in the description of the video down below. We were given a prototype copy for preview, and so let's go ahead and take a look at it on the table below. All right, I have Kiwi Chow Down on the table here, and I do want to remind you that this is a prototype copy, as you can see there on the box. And so keep that in mind as I explain how this game works. I'm not going to go over all the rules. I'm just going to briefly show you how a turn works and what you're trying to accomplish in this area control game with really interesting and fascinating miniatures here. Check this out. And again, this is prototype, but man, do these look really cool. And these are your Kiwi leaders here. They are going to be size 3 Kiwis that cannot be exploded or really, messed too much with by the other team. So these are kind of your strong guys. Now in this game, you have an army of Kiwis that you are trying to put strategically on the board, controlling certain areas to be able to put out dominance markers for points, while also trying to achieve certain season goals for that particular round. In fact, on this board, let me show you what you see here. You're going to play 4 rounds in which there's going to be a certain goal that you are trying to achieve to win some prize for that particular round. And you are going to start off by playing 3 cards after you change seasons. That's what the first phase is here. And then you will play 3 cards each. Afterwards, you will award these season cards, and then you'll place dominance markers, which are ways to get points, the main way to get points actually. So let me explain each of these in more detail. The playing cards phase involves your set of 9 cards that are the same for every player. So let me explain what these cards do. You have your move card here, which allows you to move 2 different Kiwis 1 space each, so to an adjacent hex. And so for instance, I might move my size 2 Kiwi here into this hex right here. Now when you do, you have the option to push out of that hex that you're moving into 2 other Kiwis that are smaller than the Kiwi you just moved. And so I could push out, say, this yellow Kiwi right here, and I might even want to push out my own Kiwi into this hex right here because now I have dominance in this hex as I've got 2 and the yellow only has 1. So that's how the move action works. Another card that you have in your deck is the feed action. And so the feed action works by having you have to pay 2 fruit that are not the same color. So let me show you the fruit here. The fruit comes in 4 different colors here, and you draw these at random from the pink bag. So you're never quite sure what fruit you're going to get in this game. But if you pay any 2 fruit that are not the same color, you can then feed your own Kiwi, and that will give you 1 reward, or you can feed another player's Kiwi, which will give you twice the reward. And I'll come back to what that reward is here in a second, and why you would ever want to feed someone else's Kiwi. But whenever you do this, you're going to take one of these off of your reserve here and place it on top of your Kiwi if you are feeding your own Kiwi. So I might do that like that. And then back to the player board here, I would gain this reward, which is a dominance marker. Now these dominant markers, they come in the same icons as the different territories on the board. You can see there's 4 different colors of territories, and there are 4 different dominance markers. Now when you draw these out of the blue bag there, you are going to keep them face down and hidden from all the other players because you don't want people to know where you're trying to gain dominance to be able to score these. These are ways to score points. Now, if instead you fed someone else's Kiwi, you're going to gain 2 dominance markers instead of just 1. And how that would work is that player would take one of theirs and place it on one of your choosing. Now, again, why would you ever want to do this other than that it gives you 2 dominance markers? Well, that's because if you ever feed a size 3 Kiwi, you don't actually add a 4th one on top of it. Instead, it explodes, and when it explodes, it goes away. You remove all those kiwis, and anything that was in that hex with that kiwi is going to have to move to an adjacent kiwi or hex, like so. And so that is a way to remove players' big kiwis, but also get free movement out of doing it. So that is one thing. Now, the third and final card that you might play is a build card. And when you do building, you are going to build these nests here that are on your board. Now, there's a lot of icons here. I'm not going to cover what they all do. Just know that you gain whatever the reward is here in the bottom left immediately when you build it, and you gain the reward in the top left at the end of every round. You do have to pay 2 fruit of the same color if you want to build one of these top nests, and 3 fruit of the same color if you want to build one of the bottom nests, and you do have to build the top nest before you can build the bottom. And where you put these are on any hex where you have at least 2 kiwis and you have dominance. And so that's how that works. Now, everybody has 2 of each of these cards in their deck, but there are also 3 other cards that I want you to know about. These are wild cards, which give you the option to play as any one of the other 3 cards, or give you the special action here that is on that card. And so there you go. And again, there's a lot of icons in this game. I'm not going to explain what all of them do. Just know that they're there. Your leaders do have special move actions on them too, by the way. And so when you are taking this move action, you can move your leader and do their special movement. Also, real quick, coming back to the move, you do have the option to pay 2 fruit of these colors here to move an additional kiwi 1 space. That's optional. You don't have to do that. Now again, back to this board, once you've played your 3 cards, you are then going to award that specific season card, giving the winner of the specific goal this reward here on the left side, and then all the other players are going to get what's here on the right side. Then after you do that, you are going to do dominance markers. Now, coming back to these dominance markers here, you are trying to have dominance in that specific type of hex. So for instance, this is the yellow field hex here. And if the yellow player had that dominance marker, they could do it right here because they have dominance. They have more kiwis than the red player. And you would just simply place this on the hex on this point of the game and put one of your kiwis face down to indicate that that is yours, and that is going to be worth 1 point at the end of the game. Now, in the first 3 rounds or seasons of the game, each player is only going to be able to put out 1 dominance marker. But in the 4th and final season, you are going to be able to put out as many dominance markers as you can, scoring as many points as you can. The winner is whoever has the most points from the dominance markers, as well as any size through, or the bottom nests here are going to be worth 1 point. And that is it pretty much. That is how you play Kiwi Chow Down. Let's go back up top and share our thoughts on this game. All right, we're back. And right now we're going to share our thoughts on Kiwi Chow Down and maybe some of the positives, the highlights that you can expect for yourself from it. I'll start and let you guys know that Kiwi Chow Down is an area control game that is true to that idea of area control. I mean, this is all about trying to control the specific types of regions that match your domain markers, or to get you in positions to build those nests. And it really plays true to that by allowing you to feed your kiwis to be bigger, to feed other players' kiwis to cause them to explode, to move your kiwis to bounce other players' kiwis off the board. Everything about this game is geared towards that mechanic of area control. So if you are somebody who really likes area control games, you're probably going to like Kiwi Chow Down, because this is a tried and true area control game. And it's fun to bounce other players' kiwis off the board. It's fun to feed your kiwi to make it as big as it can be and kind of live on the edge of running around your big, strong 3 Kiwi, all at the risk of somebody causing your Kiwi to explode later on. There's some fun with that risk taking there. And you can develop strategies and plans with the dominance markers that you have hidden, tucked away, trying to plot out putting your Kiwis on the board where you need them to be. So there's lots to like about this game. Now, all that being said, if you're somebody who really doesn't enjoy area control games, maybe Kiwi Chow Down's not the game for you. There is quite a bit of iconography in this game, and so not all of it is super intuitive. It does take you a few turns to learn to understand what all these icons mean and what exactly you're doing on a turn. So it is a little bit of a learning curve there, but once you get in the swing of things, it does start to come natural. So Sam, what were some of the things that you picked up on in Kiwi Chow Down?
It's definitely a unique theme. It's not something that we've seen much of. We don't have a whole lot of area control games, at least not that I've played.
Right, yeah.
It was pretty, it says 60 minutes. Of course, we only played with 2 players. I don't think it took us that long. So it is a fairly quick game.
Yeah.
Not too difficult to understand once you start playing it. I think the icons do make it a little more difficult. At least for me, I'm not used to reading. I usually just let Lance tell me what I need to do. I point to this and I say, what does this do? What do I need to do? I had to do that quite a bit in this game. But overall playing it is fairly simple.
Yeah.
There's some strategy. I didn't do too hot in this game. I wasn't great at what are the little markers?
The dominance markers.
Yeah, I did horrible at that at the end, realizing that had all these dominance markers and I didn't have 1 Kiwi on any of those colors. But there is strategy. It says 10 plus. Definitely.
Ages 10 plus.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I definitely wouldn't go younger than that. I don't think our 9-year-old would quite understand this game. You do have to just have to understand a little bit.
It's a little bit kind of like, and this is true with a lot of area control games, it's a little bit kind of like chess and wanting to make sure you have the right pieces in the right places at the right time.
Yeah.
And that requires a lot of forward thinking.
Yeah.
So
it looks like a younger kid game.
Yeah,
like
it does.
It could be. And I thought this was something that Lance had gotten for our kids, but definitely the age recommendation is correct. And it definitely is for 10 and older.
Now on that, Sam, you brought up the look of the game and the feel of the game. I totally really like the look and feel of the game. The idea of Kiwis coming to life and battling one another is kind of goofy and odd and out there, but I love the minis. The minis are so unique, and you just want to look at them and think. I'm looking at them at the back of the box right now. I'm thinking, man, that is so weird looking. I just can't look away from it. And then the colors, the artwork with the game. It's a pretty game. It's one that I want to look at on a table. And so it has a cool feel about it. The mechanics work real well. Again, if you really like area control games, this is going to be one that is going to click with you and you're really going to have a good time with, along with that card play mechanic too. Everybody's got the same deck of cards. You draw 3 at a time. What are you going to do with those 3 at this particular point in the game? So pretty cool there. And plus, anytime you get to draw something out of a bag, that's a lot of fun. I enjoy getting to draw things out of a bag. So that's a cool thing. So anything that you would say as far as playing with non-gamers when it comes to this particular game?
I think just making sure that you do understand all the icons and give ample time for explanation and making sure everybody understands. I think that was the biggest learning curve of the game.
Yeah.
But it's not, area control is not the type of game for everybody. But this is a fairly simple way of explaining it.
There's not too many overbearing rules in this game, and it's a pretty straightforward idea. Look at your dominance markers. You want to get your Kiwis in those spots.
Yeah.
At some point, if not at the end of a round, then definitely by the end of the game, and try to hold down those spots as best as you can, because that's how you're going to get most of your points in this game. So yeah. That's Kiwi Chow Down. It's currently on Kickstarter right now. Detestable Games. Make sure to check that out.
And make sure to like and subscribe and push that bell button so you get notifications of all our new content. Also, check out our website linked below, and you can look at our apparel and other things Love to Hate related.
There you go. I'm Lance.
I'm Sam.
And we are Love to Hate, where we try to bridge the gap between gamers and non-gamers. We'll catch you next time.